What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the world according to Briggs, and to what I consider a great subject, mind-blowing facts about Florida. Florida is a weird state. A lot of strange stuff goes on there. I mean, they've even got a really popular meme right now called Florida Guy. These are normally pictures of some dude with a mullet taking his pet alligator to a local convenience store and pitching a fit when they ask him to take it outside. Florida has some insanely interesting history that ranges from the space program to frickin' pirates that lost their gold offshore. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Today we're going to take a look at some of the weird facts about the Sunshine State. Okay, let's see what we got. Number 10, it's flat. Florida is the flattest state in the US. They even beat out Nebraska, Kansas, and Iowa, which I thought was mind-blowing in itself. It's almost like the entire state is a sandbar that grew some trees, almost like someone took a flat iron to the whole state and then started populating it. The state's highest point is Britton Hill at only 345 feet above sea level. Britton Hill is the lowest high point out of any state in the United States. The next closest is Washington, D.C., which is Fort Reno at 409 feet. Number 9, Underwater Jesus. Only 25 feet off the coast of Key Largo, Florida, lies a giant 9-ton sunken statue of Jesus Christ with outstretched arms. Yes, like, almost like touchdown Jesus in a way. It's called the Christ of the Abyss. It's the third of its kind. The first one is in Italy and was placed in 1954. The second was placed near the city of St. George on the island of Grenada, and it was placed in 1961. And then the one in the US off Key Largo was placed in 1962. They actually brought it up in the Netflix series Bloodline. It's a Florida thing about this family. It's really neat. Number 8, it's got a pirate's booty. It's no secret that pirates and merchant ships ran into each other off the coast of Florida for most of the 1700s and beyond. This led to a lot of ships being sunk. Weather and bad navigational charts led to other ships turning into one-way submarines. A lot of them would carry trunks of silver and gold. They were from merchants and they were doing trading and whatever they were doing down there. They just had a lot of gold and silver. Back then, if a ship went down, there was little chance it would ever be recovered. They didn't have scuba gear, so back then it was, in most cases, just considered a loss. Well, now we have the scuba gear and sonar, so things have changed. It is estimated that there is over $2 trillion worth of lost treasure within 60 miles of the coast of Florida. Different spots all up and down the coast. People find stuff all the time. There's people that do this professionally. They're out there looking for it. I was just reading an article about a guy who was just offshore a little bit in 2020 and found about $7,000 worth the silver coins from the 1700s. Yeah, happens all the time down there. Number 7, the Everglades is your drinking water. Yeah, over 7 million people get their drinking water from the Everglades. Most people think the Everglades is a swamp. It's got alligators and stuff like that, but the Everglades is actually a huge river measuring over 60 miles wide and 100 miles long. So it's not the stereotypical thin, long river. It's just huge. According to the National Park Service, it also has the largest continuous stand of sawgrass in North America. 1 in 3 Floridians get their drinking water from the Everglades. Yeah, honestly, up until just recently, I always thought the Everglades were just mostly swamp and no one's going to be drinking that water, but yeah, it's really nice water. Number 6, Jacksonville is huge. Jacksonville, Florida is the largest city in the contiguous United States. Now, they're actually the largest city because they've got like 4 ahead of them in Alaska, but they're really small cities that they just extended the border out into the prairie or the woods or whatever and say it's the biggest city in the United States. No, they're not. Jacksonville is the actual largest city in the United States. Most people would think it's New York City, Los Angeles, something like that. Houston's up there, but Jacksonville's number 1, having a total of 874 square miles. Now, 747 of it is land and another 127 square miles is actually water. This is a city that, just the city itself, not the metro area, only has a population of 900,000. It's a big city. Number 5. It's a golfer's paradise. Florida has the most golf courses in the United States, and they aren't even beating the number 2 spot by a couple. They're beating them by a bunch. Here's the top 5. Michigan has 650 golf courses. New York State has 832. Texas has 907. California has 921. Florida has 1,250. They got enough places for you to golf. Number 4, Clearwater, Florida. You may find shocking. Clearwater is the city with the highest rate of lightning strikes per capita in the US. Yeah, with more lightning-related deaths and injuries than all other states combined. On average, Clearwater, or in the Clearwater area, gets about 10 deaths a year with at least 30 injuries. Florida is also known as the lightning capital of the world, not just Clearwater. The sea breeze from the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, plus the state's extreme heat, humidity, leads to a steady stream of hot air, which is perfect for storm development and a good old-fashioned lightning show. Stay inside. Especially if you got a plate in your head. You know, I don't know if that's really true, but someone told me when I was younger that you can't go out in lightning storms if you have a plate in your head. I don't even know if they put plates in people's head anymore. That was a thing back when I was young. Who knows? Number 3. Parts of Florida may be underwater before long. Beachfront properties in Miami, for one, might be underwater by the year 2021. Miami is currently one of the most at-risk U.S. cities of losing ground due to rising sea levels. A report done in 2018 explained that within the next 30 years, most of the homes on Miami's beachfront are at risk for having serious flooding on a regular basis. Miami will spend $500 million on water pumps to combat rising waters over the next couple decades. With all the risk they have of raising sea levels, they're actually throwing around plans like pumps all over the state, raising the actual streets up a couple feet. Yeah, it's going to be weird. It's a long ways off, so who knows? Something might change. Number 2, shady politics. Florida has received very low scores when it comes to state integrity. This means that it's one of the states with the most political corruption in the country. The Center for Public Integrity doesn't paint a pretty picture for Florida's elected officials. They gave them the following scores. Public access to information, they were graded an F. Political financing, F. Electoral oversight, F. They got a D in executive accountability, that was nice. Legislative accountability, they got a C+. Judicial accountability, they got an F. State budget process, F. State civil service management, F. Lobbying disclosure, F. Ethics enforcement agency, D-. State pension fund management, D. Yeah, they didn't score too good. And before we get to number 1, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification so you know when we uploaded. All right, on to number 1. And number 1. The insurance is crazy here. Florida had $68.6 billion in insured catastrophe losses between 1986 and 2015. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Florida had the most losses because they have more catastrophic events than any other state in the U.S. Think about all the hurricanes that hit them. They have sinkholes that just swallow people up sometimes and homes, flooding for various reasons, not just hurricanes, the tropical storms that come through there. It's crazy. They have wildfires. Florida's right in the path of hurricanes. They always have been, but in the last decade or so, they've been getting more frequent and more severe. Like 2017's Hurricane Irma, it was a Category 5 storm with 185-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, I know friends that were living down there and they said it was freaking scary. Some of them stayed home to try and ride it out. They all survived, thankfully, but still, that's rough. Alright, that's today's video. Sorry the audio wasn't the best. I'm doing it from my hotel room down in LA right now. So, yeah, we'll be back to normal next week. Thanks for watching the video. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.